Hello and welcome to our show Current Issues. I'm Ajita Jain. The barbaric Bulandshahr incident has shocked the country. The incident, which occurred on Friday night when the family from Noida was travelling on the Delhi-Kanpur National Highway 91, sparked outrage in the country. UP police have formed special teams to crack the case. After 4 days of this heinous incident, only 3 men could be arrested. Some suspects have been detained and are being questioned, and 4 cops are suspended. This incident once again reminds us of the gruesome Nirbhaya case that happened not very long ago. It brings us to question the law and order state of our country, the role of police in the state, and of course, where do we stand as a country in terms of safety of women post Nirbhaya case. To discuss the issue, I have with me Ms. Anuja Kapoor, who is a psychologist, and I'll also be joined by a Supreme Court lawyer, Aishwarya Bhati, and of course by Mr. Amod Kant, who is a former Joint Commissioner of Delhi Police. But coming to you, Ms. Anuja first, that was December 2012 when the Nirbhaya incident happened.
Yeah.
Now we are in 2016. After almost 4 years, what has changed post Nirbhaya for women in India?
See, such an ironical question. What has it changed since independence? Nothing.
Absolutely.
What has changed? You're just talking about 4 years. I'm talking about from the day the woman is born, the woman is there on earth. And when the men took the woman as an object, as a commodity, after independence, we thought something would come up. So in talking about, I think, 1947 and 2016, put it this way. Nothing has changed. Woman is where she belongs, that is inside the house, as an object, as a throw piece. She's never been looked upon. That's why you can see the feticide and a lot of child abuse, everything, dowry, sati, you see, keep on looking into it. The history will
Yes,
give
you're
you.
going to a larger dimension, but
Yes.
coming to this specific rape incident, especially
Yes,
the incident that happened on Friday night, this Bulandshahr incident, do you expect in today's world incidents like highway robbery, dacoity, gang rape happening?
You know, something, I was just reading it over and I just figured it out that there is a kind of thing which just clicked into my mind. Definitely there is a dacoity, but I feel somewhere these people, they knew the victims somehow, because there was, I think there was another lady who was there in the car and she was not being taken care. Only 1 woman and 1 child was being taken up. So somewhere I think there is a revenge mode also, and this is all
Though that would be a matter of speculation to what
yes,
you're
that's
saying.
a matter of speculation, and what I feel that why these things are happening, it's because sometimes, you know, what is the main cause is the revenge.
Okay.
It's the way, if you somewhere down the lane you feel that the woman is a monopoly in the house and she's the one who's been taking care of everything, and the woman is not being able to understand that the person who is there under her is not being able to understand what is going around.
I'm also joined by Mr. Amod Kant now, who's a former Joint Commissioner, Delhi Police. Mr. Amod Kant, we are into the 69th year of India's independence, and yet incidents like highway robbery, dacoity, gang rapes are a big reality. What kind of system are we living into?
No, please, first of all, let me clarify that besides being Joint Commissioner of Police, I was the DG Police, and then I also have
We amend that.
the Secretary of Prayas,
Yeah.
which deals with hundreds of cases of sexual abuse, particularly rapes. You know, there is something called Rape Crisis Intervention Center that Prayas started about 18 years back. And even Nirbhaya's case, let me clarify, we never talked about it, was dealt with by this particular Rape Crisis Center. Now, the issue is that...
No, what has changed after that? What has changed post Nirbhaya?
No, that's what I am trying to say, that the entire situation as being described today, if we are talking in terms of the Bulandshahr case, for instance, that this Bulandshahr district case, I can see, whatever little I have known of it, I believe and I have been told that there is some gang There is some gang which is operating in that area, like they operate. And I don't wish to name that particular class of people, that particular kind of gang. But from a police experience, I know that these people are extremely brutal. They can be extremely brutal. And they can be really nasty and terrible to the women.
But where's the law and order? Where's the state police, Mr. Kant?
Pardon?
Where's law and order? Where's the state police? That is the biggest question.
I think this is definitely a symptom of a jungle raj. There is no doubt about it. And then if on highway, innocent and kind of ignorant and these kind of people are traveling in the car, and suddenly they are accosted by these kind of people, and they take them into sideways and then do this kind of crime and this kind of stupid behavior. I mean, it's something extremely serious. There is no doubt about it. I mean, I really entirely endorse the view which was being expressed just now. But then this was a crime. It was a very serious crime. And secondly, treating the woman as object, like my predecessor, the previous speaker was talking about, then that is a tradition which has to be really condemned to any extent we can think of. That apart, these kind of situations are happening. No, abuse, sexual abuse.
Yeah, but the biggest question is why is it happening till date, Mr. Khan? Since you've been one of the top cops yourself, I will definitely come to you regarding the role of the police and where is the law and order of the state, of the country, and why aren't we successful in stopping crime against women? I'm also joined by Aishwarya Bhati now, who's a Supreme Court lawyer. Ms. Aishwarya Bhati, we are discussing what has changed since Nirbhaya incident happened in 2012. What are your views on this? What do you see any change? Because earlier we used to say there are no stringent laws. We did get the law amended. Now after that, Bulandshahr case happens, Sambal case happens, every day rapes are happening, gruesome crimes are happening. So what's your take on this?
Ajita, I have never been of the opinion that the laws were lacking in any way for the, to curtail the rape. We already had enough laws. Of course, the change in the law is very welcome because it has covered specific offences like stalking, voyeurism, acid throwing,
right,
etc.
But before 2013,
and then repeat offences have been made punishable by.
Right. Aishwarya, sorry to interrupt, but before 2013, rape was not even considered a major crime. There was only a 7 years imprisonment, and that too when the culprit was arrested and actually proved guilty.
No, Ajita, you are not right. It was 7 years was a minimum sentence that was prescribed. So you can't say that it was not a major punishment or a major offense. Of course, the amendments have made the punishment even more, even going to, and the classifications are there, and even going to the extent of the rest of the natural life. And now the minimum punishment is 10 years, and of course it can extend to 20 years, and it's different on different occasions.
Death penalty,
different instances. But the important thing that we need to bear in mind is rape is essentially a hate crime. This is not a crime. There are all kinds of offences and crimes that exist and are defined under our penal law. And there are usually intentions and motives, for doing these offences. But rape is one offence, or which is in the category of hate crimes, which is essentially stems from the inequality in the society between men and women. So it can't be isolated in a legal vacuum and understood in that perspective. Till the time the society wakes up, till the time women are given equal status, we will really not see any significant change in the crimes of rape. Nirbhaya case was definitely a very strong movement that happened. It became like a complete revolution that happened, and we need to see more revolutions like that. But we need to see families and society standing up for protecting the women child. You're talking about rape.
Aishwarya, crime against women have not stopped a bit. In fact, they have increased. I have one data with me. I have some statistics which I would want to come on full screen just to compare where we are today as compared to 2012, how many rape cases. Just look at this data. This is post-Nirbhaya data that we are talking about. 2012, we had 24,923 reported cases of rape. In 2013, it increased. The figure went up to 33,707. And in 2014, figure went up ahead. 36,735 cases of rape were reported. Now just look at this data, and we're also talking about some figures of Delhi, 2014, 15 and 16. Where in Delhi in 2014 it was 2,166,
I think you
2015
should
2,199, and 2016 1,186. What do you say of these figures? Like, okay, we say that okay, a lot of outrage happened after Nirbhaya, lot of protest happened, people came out on roads, streets, everywhere, and again in 2016 we are having a series of such cases. Okay, I would want to have a reaction of Mr. Amod.
See,
Kant
Ajita,
on this.
I think you
Yes.
should look at data.
Yes. Ms. Ashwin, I'll come to you. I'll come to you.
You
Mr.
should
Amod
look
Kant-
at the data from one more perspective. You know, this is one offense.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
This is one offense which is, when you compare the data with the developed world and the developing world, the population where education and awareness levels are higher versus population where there are abysmally low levels of education and awareness, there is very little difference. This is an offense that continues unabated throughout. And Anuja was talking on the beginning of the program how, you know, you need to understand this from the social perspective.
Right.
Women have got a right to franchise, the right to vote only in the previous century. In the best of the developed countries, women were not given the, adult suffrage was not there. There was no right to vote. So there is a long journey that the women have, taken so far, but there is a long journey that still remains to be done.
I would like to take Mr. Amod Kant's opinion also here. Mr. Amod Kant, what do you say of the statistics that we are talking about as compared to 2012 rape cases in India overall in general have increased?
Actually, I would like to clarify the point of the statistics because he statistically speaks very different. The sense that these statistics do not really indicate the crime in that sense.
Actually, the figures are much more higher.
So let me clarify that point. Please don't get alarmed with the higher figures. Could be more cases are being registered. No, earlier what happened that there was some conspiracy of silence, and then the cases were not being registered because there are a lot of stigma attached to it. Society will not permit, family will not permit, police will not register the cases. Now things are happening, things are changing. And then we have got where cases are being registered now. Unlike the previous times where the cases not being registered. So please, for heaven's sake, let the cases be registered. In the sense that don't get alarmed about number of cases. I'm not saying that the crimes have reduced. I'm not saying that the crimes have got controlled. The crimes may be there as it is, or perhaps they may be higher. But it appears to me that there is certain consciousness. It is not that we are totally blank about the whole thing. It is not that the police or society and everybody else is not thinking more about it. The crimes are getting controlled to certain extent. Decidedly not to the desired extent. So please, let's
Crimes
not
are getting controlled to some extent. Okay, Mr. Kant, here Ms. Anuja wants to say something. Yeah.
Yeah. Good evening, sir. I would like to ask you something. Like, sir, are you saying that it has been controlled? The crime has been controlled, and it has been resisted. That's why we see this figure. It is not about this, sir. I know that it has been. It was there before also. It has been happening now, and it has been resisted. And some of them is not gone unregistered. But do you know that the lot of crimes which are happening are because after the stringent laws are being even put up. What is a stringent law? A stringent law is when you look into something and the administration level also comes up and they join hands with it, and then the law does not only prevails at that time, it supersedes the crime. But this is not happening out here. Lot of things are happening on the jurisdiction areas. You can very well see it is on the borders, these things will happen.
And
It
it's
is
not
not
just that,
about-
what you're saying, Anuja, I would add to it that this particular incident, Bulandshahr incident, there was a police chowki just 100 meters away from the spot of the incident.
This is what I'm saying.
What were the
I'm not
cops
putting
doing
him
there?
on the wrong
And
edge, but I'm just
that-
trying to put this thing that this is the most grievous things which are happening.
Right.
The criminals are understanding the psychology of the police, the psychology of the society, and they are doing the crime. It is not the other way around. So the criminality needs breeding more. Why? Because as we are not able to counter their mind, we are not one step ahead. Then moreover, why 100 meters when the police chowki was there, they were not able to see? Why? Again, they must be in their own solace. They must be in their own solace.
No, they must be hand in gloves. Otherwise, if it's an organized gang, how can they operate without anybody's knowledge, especially law enforcement agencies' knowledge, and that which is just 100 meters
and
away?
Say that
Mr.
one of the person said that there is a tractor which was also been involved. It means the local people were involved in this.
Mr. Amod Kant, I want to ask you, why every time CBI is looked up to for any kind of investigation? Why our police force is not well equipped? Why they are not able to match up to the standards of any premier investigating agency?
If you want my professional view on this subject, let me tell you that if you're talking about Bulandshahr kind of case, see, Bulandshahr kind of case, whatever little information I have, I can say that this is not the case for CBI at all. It's
no, today BJP has demanded CBI inquiry.
Mr.
Amod Khan, today BJP did a press conference where they said
I was a DGP. Let
me. Okay.
Can I clarify?
Yeah, sure,
you are also talking to a person who has remained DGP for 2 states of India. I was DG police of 2 states of India,
right,
and I understand very well these issues. Well, I am not in service anymore. That
no, I myself said that you have been one of the top cops.
This is not a case for CBI at all. See, I'm clear. I mean, I'm there, and that's why I'm speaking a language which a top cop should speak and should understand it. Now, the point is that this is a case. This is a case where, if it is true, and perhaps it is true because they have arrested some people, I believe. If they happen to be from a particular kind of gang,
7, 8.
There are gangs in the country. Let me clarify. No, please listen to me. Listen to me. Let me educate some people sitting around. Now the issue is that there are gangs across the country. I know, I am aware. I have dealt with these gangs in dozens and dozens while I was in service. And these gangs operate in different parts of country, and they are extremely dirty. They are extremely brutal. I mean, they can do anything. I am aware of them. So now the issue is that if that kind of gang is operating in Uttar Pradesh, let us say near Bulandshahr, and this area is known for that. Unfortunately, this area is known for that. This part of, Uttar Pradesh is really Wild West. Things are terrible, and then they can happen. This kind of thing can happen. But then, so for that matter, the police has to awake to it. The police has to create. The government has to pay extraordinary attention to it. This entire area, this entire highway, has to be brought under surveillance and very close monitoring.
Okay, right.
I mean, this kind of highways
we'll take this forward, Mr. Mukant. I have one caller waiting. There is Ms. Surbi waiting over the phone line. She wants to say something on the show. Yes, Ms. Surbi, please go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that after Nirbhaya case 2012, everyone is talking about the safety of women. Candle march and so many things happened that time. But what is the solution of that? And what is the use of that? Because the graph of the rape cases has increases. So who is going to take the responsibility of that? And as Mr. Amod Khan said that the Bulandshahr area, that area is known for that.
Yeah.
And Uttar Pradesh is known, and only government has to take the responsibility. The question is not about the government. The question is about the safety of the women.
Absolutely.
Doesn't matter who is going to take the government, either NDA, UPA, Samajwadi Party, doesn't matter. But who is going to take responsibility of this?
Right. Mr. Kant, would you want to react to this, to our caller? I mean, a very common sentiment.
No,
I am a common man. I'm just concerned about my safety. I'm living in a country where I expect to be having fundamental right of security, living, breathing, eating. I mean, how can just somebody take away my security at toss?
No, I take the words of Surbi in right spirit, and I say that these are two parts. One part is that you create the law. After Nirbhaya, very sad, the law came, of course, and the law is very functional, very handy now. That law can take care of all types of situations.
But it's not acting as a deterrent.
Mr. Mukant,
it's not acting as a deterrent. It's not.
No, I mean, no, it is. See, I will not No, I will not say, I will not endorse that, because see, I am sitting somewhere where perhaps my judgments could be based on certain experience, and I have seen it happening in decades and decades. I have the experience of the police, the government and the voluntary sector. I have the experience of Women's Commission,
Right.
Child Rights Commission, which I headed myself. The issue is that things are improving, things are definitely improving. But then the women's security and the women's safety, for instance, in a situation like this, I think that has to be paramount. The safety of women, the safety of children, the safety of vulnerable people, I think that is not yet on the radar. It is still not being taken care of. Perhaps there is a need to be more conscious about it.
Okay.
The public consciousness has grown. The people have become far more aware. There is no doubt about it. I think things have to change. The police also and the government at
What
large
needs
has
to be
understand these
changed?
issues much
Mr.
better.
Kant, that is what we are discussing. What needs to be changed? That's the biggest question. Okay, public awareness is there. People have become more aware.
Police forces.
Yes.
More of activities, more of money, more of budget, more of grant, more of activity, more of police force, more of police action towards protecting women and children, protecting
Let
these kind
me
of
let me
people.
just bring
That's
in
the
one
call
more
of the day.
caller. Okay, Mr. Chandra Prakash is waiting from Kurukshetra. Yes, Mr. Chandra Prakash, what are your views? What do you want to say?
देखिए, जो नेशनल हाईवे के पास हुआ उस निर्मम घटना की से मैं अपने आप को हल्क महसूस कर रहा हूँ। एक परिवार जो अपने परिवार में हुई मृत्यु पर सांत्वना हेतु जा रहा था, मगर गांव दोस्तपुर के पास अचानक वो हो गया जिसकी कल्पना भी उन्होंने नहीं की थी। उन दरिंदों ने उन परिवार के ऊपर क्या क्या अत्याचार किए, टीवी के माध्यम से सब जनता देख रही है। मगर मैं यहाँ एक बात कहना चाहता हूँ, शीला दीक्षित जब दिल्ली की सीएम थी उस समय निर्भया कांड हुआ था। निर्भया जब जीवन मृत्यु के संघर्ष में हारने की दशा में पहुंच गई थी, तब शीला दीक्षित ने उसको विदेश के लिए हवाई जहाज से भेजा इलाज के लिए, मगर देखिए वहां से उस बच्ची की लाश ही आई। ये राजनीति, कितनी घृणित राजनीति करते हैं हमारे देश के नेता। वही शीला दीक्षित फिर उत्तर प्रदेश को खाने के लिए पहुंच रही है।
नहीं, ठीक है, ओके, थैंक यू सो मच मिस्टर चंद्र प्रकाश। वी अंडरस्टैंड योर sentiments. Of course, these are such issues which should actually be condemned, and everybody should rise above party politics and other kinds of politics. Ms. Aishwarya Bhati, as Mr. Amod Kant was saying, that things are improving. Do you feel that? Do you see that improvement? Do you echo the sentiment that yes, things are improving?
Ajita, I seriously think that things can improve not by change of law, because the problem was never with the laws. The problem in India is with implementation. Let me tell you, you know, an accused, when he is committing an offense, when he is committing the most heinous offense of rape, he is not thinking how this is defined under the IPC, what are the provisions, what are the explanations, what are the exceptions, and what is the sentence prescribed under the IPC, under the old act or new act. All that is there in his mind is, I will not be caught right now, I will be able to hoodwink the law, nobody will be able to catch me, and this is going to take forever. So the real problem is with investigation, the real problem is with our police authorities. The Supreme Court has passed several judgments, including Constitution Bench judgments, to say we need to have a separate investigative unit of police, you know, beat constables, the same constables who are doing the beat. They have no special qualification. They go on and carry out the investigation. You know, you and I use so much of science and technology in our personal and day-to-day and professional lives. Can you even imagine how much of technology and science does police use? You know, the rape is one offense where the accused actually leaves his evidence at in the victim, at the scene of the crime. And still we are relying on, you know, archaic ways of trying to prove
that
this
is what
crime.
my question
You know,
was,
why
Ms.
should it be
Bhati.
necessary at all?
Actually, you know, why are we actually...
There is a serious gap until the...
Why do we look at CBI all the time? You know, why are our police officials, our police system not efficient enough? Anyways, we have one more caller on the show. Mr. Lal Bahadur is there from Delhi. Yes, Mr. Lal Bahadur, what do you want to say?
मैम मुझे एक चीज बतानी थी। बिहार में अभी 4 दिन पहले एक कांड हुई है, नाबालिग लड़की के साथ में रेप हुआ है मैम। उसमें 5 आरोपी है, 2 की अरेस्टिंग हुई है। तो ये न्यूज, तो ये भी न्यूज आनी चाहिए मैम, बिकॉज अब बिहार में भी तो ये हुए है मैम, नाबालिग के साथ में हुई है रेप।
Right. No, actually, we are highlighting all the incidents that are being reported. Anyways, even Mr. Lal Bahadur, you know, and everybody is perturbed by what is happening around, you know. It's not just about UP, it's not just about Bihar, you know. Rape has become a reality and these cases are happening all around us. So what do we do to stop it, Anuja?
This is what I wanted to speak to you about this, that what do we need to do? It is not that the things that it is changing and we are looking into it, how it will change, when it will change, or is it there? What we need to do is to nab the culprits before they do something. Police said, Mr. Amod himself said, that they know that the gangs are working. When you have an information, why don't you talk at that time? Why don't you nab the people at that time? Why don't you nab the culprits at that time?
How are these gangs thriving?
Why are we waiting? Why are we waiting for the things to happen so that we can produce them in the natural justice, so that they can even give their own defense and we can give our own prosecution? No.
Mr. Amodkant, I want to ask you, do you see things changing for better in the near future? And what is the most disturbing thing out of all?
If we are talking about this particular case and similar kind of cases,
of course,
I talked about the gangs. Let me tell you that certain kind of traditional policing, which used to take care of gangs when they used to move, when they used to operate.
Very quickly, I would want that answer,
Mr.
Amodkant. Yes.
It is not happening. And of course, but then other kinds of crimes, other kinds of situations where investigation must improve. You have said it already. You have given a long narration about
you agree
what is
that
lacking
police
in the police,
system needs overhauling now, a relook.
I agree. I entirely agree on that count, that police has to change, investigation has to change, things have to change.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Right. I would want
for creating a situation, that these crimes don't take place.
Ms. Aishwarya Bhatia, I would want one last comment from you. I'm sorry, we are just running short of time now.
Yes, the real change will actually happen only, Ajita, when there is a complete overhaul of the police system, when they have the same sensitivity to deal with offences relating to women, the same sensitivity that they have when they treat, deal with VIPs. Because this is what is the security all about, and when we are able to accept that it's not macho to commit, for men have to understand that it's not macho to commit crimes against women, and it is actually macho to respect them. So there needs to be overhaul on so many levels.
What do you
police reforms is one thing we need the most.
Could be the biggest deterrent.
What I feel is it is the sense of responsibility. It's the accountability. It's the credibility. When you would sense any department, when the department would think about it, that this is my responsibility and no one has to pinpoint me like we are pinpointing it. If I would do the responsibility of myself is right, if I am a SHO of that area and I would do something which is right, which should have been done at that 100 meters area when they were shouting and then their siren was moving.
I'm afraid
this
we are
been taken up.
Now time is over. So thank you very much, Mr. Amodkant, Ms. Aishwarya Bhatia and Ms. Anuja Kapoor for joining me here on this issue today. And that's all we have in current issues at the moment. Thank you very much for watching.